Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. I think this is part 4. I think it's part 4. For the second time, I videotaped this the whole part 4 yesterday and went to upload it. It showed it was uploading and then it disappeared. So we're continuing on with our folder, our desk set series, and we finished the folder on the part 3, except for adding the the ties for our pockets and our hinges, rather. And then what I had videotaped yesterday is we got started on the making of the journal that's going to go in it, and the whole thing is gone. So I'm just going to quickly go over how I did this, and we're making it out of a paper bag. And I want to show you, this is what I had filmed yesterday, is this is the front, and I had started to talk about the embellishment I want to put on the front, and then added the trim to the bottom here, found this satin ribbon and that lace, and so basically on the other one, you can see this is just a 2 signature soft cover journal, and we're going to make one similar. And I did a fabric pocket on the inside of this, and then this is open here and here for storage on both the front and the back. So I'm going to show you how I did that. But the inside, you can see I found some fabric that fairly coordinates, and I had to use my pinking shears on it because I couldn't get it to rip. So that's why I've got this little pinking shears top here, and then I added some lace trim here and some more of that satin ribbon, and then a piece of the crocheted lace at the bottom. So then this will be pockets on either side. Let me move this aside so I can show you exactly how. Now this paper bag is 8.5 by 11 to this part. And so what you're going to want to do is you're simply going to want to trim off this part of the bag, and this is a flat bag, it's not a gusseted bag, so that's what I'm using in this. There's no gussets at all. It's a flat sides and flat bottom. So I simply just took off to make it all the same on both sides, okay? But you still have the opening here. And then you're going to have a little opening on this side, so I just literally took off a little bit. So you've got, this will be the front, and this will be the back of the journal, and then there will be some pockets. And then I chose my papers that I wanted out of that Stamperia collection, and of course you see I chose this one, and then I chose this one. I'm actually combining 2 Stamperia paper pads, but I just wanted to show you if I were going to make it out of these 2. I found 2 pieces that coordinated still in that paper pack, and this one's got a green, and then this solid green, well, it's crackled, and it's like a blue green and then a green. So all you're going to do is lay your paper bag on your paper and simply measure where you're going to cut, and then glue that paper on, and then that will be and I'm not going to do it because I'm going to save this paper for something else, and that would be the front. And then you're going to do the same thing for the back side. Okay, so this would be the inside. Then what I did is I chose, and actually, let me grab some fabric here. The fabric that I have what I chose here that coordinates with the set. It's kind of like it's got colors of bluish green and green in it, and so it does coordinate quite well with the. See, let me show you the folder. It coordinates quite well, as you can see, because I'm also going to, I think I'm using this sari to be the ties of the folder. But if I were going to use this, this also works with this. So then I just cut down approximately, I think it's about a 3-inch, let me see, about, no, 4 inches of fabric width or length, and then the whole length, you know, which is 11. This measures 11 across. And then glued it to the sides, and then added my trims. I chose my trims to match what we had done because it's going to coordinate with this on here. So this scalloped lace is on the front, and then I added this, I thought it was a little plain, so I went in and added this pretty satin green, well, it's like a sage green maybe, satin ribbon, because I don't really have much in the way of greens or green blues at all in my stash. And then I did the same here, and then also added some more of that trim, and then added this thin crocheted trim at the bottom. But what I did is then I took it to the machine and I did this fancy stitching here. And I did all of this on the video yesterday, which is long gone, and that's one of the most frustrated parts about making these videos, is that does happen from time to time. Not a lot, but it does, and it does make it, you know, expands the amount of time that it takes me to create these videos. So with that, we are going to continue on with the making of this journal. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to choose, and I think I had cut 2 pieces of this. I'm going to add the ties right on the inside here, okay, of this, and that's what will tie the journal up. And I thought I had 2 pieces, but yes, here it is. So I have 2 pieces of this, so that's what's next. And then we're going to go over our pages, and I have a variety here, and I'm going to put them together while you're here. And then we're also going to add some pockets in these pages, and then maybe some stenciling and things. So I wanted to show you quickly, I just add I use seam binding on this one, and just put it between the middle of the papers, the paper and the bag. So let's do that. See if my glue is not stuck. Okay, I'm simply going to add a little bit of glue to one side of this, right here. So, you know, I really don't know what happens. I know I got a notice, you know, on my phone that my memory, you know, before I do that, it might be good if I measured, so these were on the same. This is 11, so let me go down to 4.5. No, it's not 11. It's 11 this way. I was going to say that sounds like too much. No, this is 8. It's 8, so I want to go down 4. So let me mark that there, and on this side as well. So our ties are in the same place. And then I can just erase that. And you know, I think I'm gonna put glue on both sides. So it said I needed to clean out, so I went in and I cleaned out offloaded some of my apps and things like that to try to free up some memory space, but my YouTube is using up the majority of my memory. Now, I'm due for a new phone, and I had used a camera once before, and to be honest with you, I really prefer my phone. I really do, because I don't really do much editing in the way of the videos, because to be honest with you, it just is so time consuming that I would never get anything done if I was spending all my time editing. Now, if my channel is monetized, I'm looking for my pencil mark here, and I don't see it, so let me measure that again. I lost it. It's right here. Here's 4 inches. So what I was saying is, if I was monetized, of course, you know, and had a huge subscribership, you know, I would take the time to edit and, you know, fast forward and all that kind of stuff. But I could not I don't have enough hours in the day to do that, make books to sell, because I have to fund these somehow. So I have to sell something, because I just can't buy materials and play, because I'm not a millionaire by any means. So, all right, so now we've got our ties in, and let's move this aside. And actually, I'm thinking about continuing on with the cover first. So if we fold this, I know that this line right here, and this is where I would suggest marking this, so you know. So this is where you can do your, you know, your embellishment to the cover. You don't have to do anything. I mean, you can have it just like that, but I'm going to do a little bit. And I did talk through this yesterday, but it's gone, so I'll show you. And I'm glad I didn't finish it. This was a piece of the offcuts, so I decided to shabby this up a piece, and this would be the bottom. And then this was the focal point, and I came in and die cut that, and this is out of part of the you know, the Stamperia papers. So I have a little die cut here, and then I wanted to add a little fabric on the top of this, so we have a little layering, and it isn't exactly even, is it? So I think I gotta cut a little bit more right here, and it doesn't matter if it's a little wonky. I'm looking for my scalloped scissors. Here they are. My pinking shears. See if we can even that up a little bit. That's better. So then I layered that, and I'm like, well, that's still a little bit boring for me. So I thought, well, I think I'll add 2 brads, one on each side. And then I want to add a little bit of lace here, and then a little lace here. So with that, let me go ahead and glue the lace. Let me move this aside. Just a little peeking out the bottom, and then a little out at the top. Let's try to make these somewhat even. Okay. Okay, then we'll go ahead and add our fabric right in the middle. And I'm not going to secure it. until I sew it, but we'll have it all put together, and then I'll glue it on after I sew it, and I'll show you how I'm going to sew this. I'm not actually going to sew it to the cover. I'm going to glue it to the cover, but I'm going to sew around here, probably right here. Whoops, right around here. Now I want to add, I think I'll go ahead and glue this on, and then we will add the holes on each side and put our, oh dear, you know what? That's going to get in the way of my sewing. So the next thing I would do is, before I glue this on, I would go ahead and sew this, which I'm not going to do because my machine's over there. Then glue this, and then I'm going to take my pokey tool, or actually I may do the small hole of the grommet or the punch, but I just want to make sure that this doesn't slide all the way through the hole. That's why I'm thinking the pokey tool might work best. So let me just show you what that will look like. And I'll just take this out. Make sure this is even. Okay. And then we'll just put this right in the middle. And so it will look, the cover will look like this. And I probably will come in and do a little glossy accents. You know how I like that on the roses and the flowers. Okay, so that's going to be the cover. Nice and simple. Now, let me put the glue lid on, and we're going to talk about papers. Now, it's only going to be 2 signatures, and I wanted to make it quite, quite simple because it's going in that. So I pulled out what I think I might want in there. And this is tracing paper here, and the reason why I like tracing paper is because I have some vintage book and music papers, and I usually use the tracing paper on each side of those. And this is from the early 1900s, and so it's not super fragile, but it's fragile enough to where I feel like I want a piece of this on each side. So that's why you see me using this or vellum or something like that, or tissue in my book. So I also have this vintage music paper. Then I have a piece of doily. Then I have a smaller bag, and I'm going to go ahead and just take my pinking shears again and open up the other side, because this will get sewn in, so then you have storage room there. This is a round doily that I have attached like this, and this is going to get sewn in like this, and there's actually 2 together back to back, and it will become a pocket. I have some coffee dyed ledger that I've cut down in various sizes, because I like a variety of sizes so you see the layers. Coffee stained paper, coffee stained and inked paper, a little design on it, couple pieces of beautiful parchment writing paper, a couple of beautiful floral book pages, okay, that I took the book apart, and then I have some just printed on photo cardstock papers, digis. Here's one. This one I know is from, well, I didn't print on this side, so I might do a little painting or something on here or something, or inking or stenciling or something. This came from the Graphics Fairy member site, and I have one more from there. So I have these. Okay, then I have some more printed graphics, and another one, and another one. So let's put these together. Now, since I have these two, I think these are going to be like my signature covers. And so I'm doing 2 signatures. So this is when I start just adding in the papers, and I try to add similar papers in each. So there's some parchment there and some parchment. Then we will do, I'm just going to layer up the ledger, just like this. Okay. Then I think we can add this doily pocket. Now I'll probably have to trim this off here, but that's okay. And I wanted the paper bag next, because these are like pockets. Paper bag on that side. Then let's go ahead and add some coffee stained paper. And coffee stained paper. Then possibly a piece of wait a sec. Here we go. Graphics, you know, digitals. Do this one right here. And then I think I will do my tissue and some vintage book. Tissue and a vintage book advertisement. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add, I'll do it on this one. I think I'll go ahead and add the music here. Okay, and then the tissue, and then the vintage book page. Okay, and then I've got, let's do another digital. And then I'm gonna count, I'm gonna look at it in the book and see how thick this is. Is this? There we go. Try to find the middle here. Here it is. I think I'll use these leaves. Then we're going to do a book page, and this I'm going to have to fold in, I think. And hopefully I won't have to cut too much off. I did a little trimming ahead of time. Okay, and I have these things left over, which I probably won't use. And, oh, I have a piece of vellum here. And where did I add the extra music page? There. So I think I'm going to tuck this vellum in. I think I'll just tuck it in right here. It's fun to create on. Alright, I want to just see how this is going to fit in here. There's no pockets, there's nothing in it. And that's almost too many. But I think it'll be fine. It's a lot of papers. Let me think if I could take 1 or 2 things out, what I would do. Coffee stain. I really don't want to take anything out. I think I'm going to leave it because I don't want to take anything out. I like everything that I have in here. All right, I'm going to take a look at that again and see how much I might have to trim off. Now, I'm going to add some fabric ruffles down the side. So you can see there's a lot sticking out the end, but as in this one, you can see, you don't see any of the papers because I have the fabric ruffles. So I'm going to be making the same type of thing. So I have enough room on my ruffles to add dangles. See, here's some pearls, and we will add that to this as well. So I'm going to I'm going to take a look at this, and this is normally what I do. I go back through my pages so you can get a general idea. If I haven't really done a bone folder on them to get them nice and crisp, because that will flatten the papers out. This is when I come in and do this now. Okay, so I'll come through and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And let me just flatten these out real quick. I would normally take them all apart because then you can get a real good, because as you stack your pages, the closer to the middle you get, you know, the more the papers stick out, which makes sense. So oh, you know what? Let me just look at one more thing. I want to look at the height, and that, yes, these are plenty within about 1/4 inch on up each side. So this is when I come in, and then I'll start cutting them down a little bit, and this is how I do it. I take it, I push it into my journal, and then I'll just do a little pencil line, okay, and then I'll take them and I'll start trimming them down. So I know that I want it at least till there, so then I will trim that. Oops, I think I trimmed too much off. I did, but that's okay. You get the general idea, and then I will keep going with trimming. So we're going to keep trimming. So here you see it's sticking out again. So I'm going to go ahead and do this whole section here, and then we will do a few pockets. So I'm just going to take this whole thing out, and I know that I start taking it apart a little bit. This one's fine. This one's going to have to be trimmed down a little bit. So I'm going to take this apart because I can't get through that much on this cutter. And we're going to go ahead and cut that off down to that area. Now this, I like to usually, on these, is take pinking shears, and I'll just cut off the end, just like that. So this is going to fit right over here, and now that should be fine. And let me see if I have to take off any more. So we were here. Yes. Okay, so then I continue on. So now I know I have these papers to cut down. And I don't think I can get through all of these. And this book page, I know I don't want to cut that down. What I want to do with the book page is I want to turn it in because it's, I don't want to ruin it. Okay, so now I've cut this down, and then this will go back in here. So for those of you that have been making books for a while, you know, fast forward through this part. Now, I think what I'll do is with this book page is this little white part, and this tells what each one of these are British flowers, which each flower is on the page. So I'm just going to take my score, or just score them rather. Let me move this aside. And then I can fold these right in like that, and there are two, I can either secure them to become pockets or little tuck spots, or they can just become a flip out. Okay, so let me pull my stuff back over here, get rid of my trims. Okay. So that's in the middle. This is going to be the middle of my signature. So I probably will make these little tuck spots. That'll be a fun place to have a little tuck spot. We don't have a lot of room in this journal for that. So now you can see, even if I didn't add the ruffles or the ribbon or the lace or whatever I choose, I might do this lace now that I'm thinking about it, because I can't tear that fabric. So I would have to sit there and cut it and all of that. So I think I might just use the crocheted trim. It fits lovely in there, so we're good to go. Now, we've got a pocket here. Do I want to put a pocket here? No, because I think this is a fun place for somebody to write and tell about their journal, or they can use it as a gardener's journal. So this is when I start deciding where I want to put pockets. Do I want to put a pocket on the inside of this? Maybe. I might do some stenciling here. I don't want to put a pocket on the music page. We may decorate that up a little bit. This looks like a good place to put a pocket. I think we're going to start with this one. Okay, I have some trims. So, we can do a simple pocket just like this, or I could do a belly band here, which would be fun. And I like this color, so I think I'm just going to do a simple belly band, though I do like this. This would be good as an angled pocket. And how I do an angled pocket is I'll mark here, and then I know, and then here, and then you just want to meet your angles. So I'll show you that real quick. And this is how I do it, and you can get much more scientific than that. But I lay it right on my cutter at those 2 points, just like that. Whoops, and then I have an angle, and there we go. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll do the belly band a little bit further down. And when I'm done with this, I'll glue now. Let me do a little ink. I'll glue now, and then I will sew around this off camera. And then we can come in and decorate the pocket a little bit. I'll probably add a little trim. Both sides of this is fun. So we could have the pocket this way, couldn't we? And I'm thinking maybe I might want the pocket that way, so, well, I kind of like the greens, so we'll do here. And while I have it, I think we'll go ahead and do the pockets now. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. We'll do the pockets now, and then off camera I'll sew the pockets, and then when I decorate the journal, we will decorate it. See, this is pretty. This would be pretty on here, just like that. So that's a possibility, but I'll sew that first. And if I'm going to do that, I think I'll go ahead and flip this right over and add one more pocket here. I have this other piece. So let me just square off this point a tiny bit. And then, whoops, let me go ahead and ink that. Just so we don't have the white core. Okay. Okay, we want this as tuck spots, so I think I'm just going to add a tiny bit of ink right around here, and I might notch it just because it looks nice. Make sure my notches are in the same place. Let me just mark a little pencil. Okay, just glue down this little and I will secure that with stitches. All right, so as far as this signature goes, because let's talk about this doily for a second. Okay, so this is going to be, I've got to glue these together. Let me take this out. I just want to glue the two doilies together. So when this is folded, this is going to be, oops, there's 4 layers here because just wanted to, hold on. Yeah, these two are stuck together and these two. This is going to be a pocket in here. So that's why I chose 2 doilies. Another way of doing that is you can take, if you want to use your doilies as pocket, you can take your doily and lay it on some cardstock and glue it to the cardstock, and it works well as well. So we will have a pocket there. So do I want to add a pocket here? I'm decided not to add a pocket because it's going to get too bulky, because we're going to have a pocket here. Then we have these 2 pockets, and then we have these 2 tuck spots. So that's going to be plenty because we have the bag on the other side, and I'm going to have to trim all of this down before I add the pockets. I will probably come in and add a belly band on this paper. This page right here, because this is a heavier weight. So I liked this, so I think I'll use this. I'll trim this down, and I might scallop it a little bit or die cut it or do something fun with it, and this will be a belly band here. Cut it right down to there, and then the other half I'll use as a belly band on the back side. So between that, and then we'll do the same thing here where these will be folded over, and this is the middle of the signature, and we'll have 2 pockets. So let me check our time, and we're at 38 minutes. And the next time I come back, we are going to be edging out the pages with some trims so that they spill over, and then we can start picking the embellishments we want in this. And also off camera, I will sew our focal piece for the front first and then glue it on. Okay guys, so that's it for part 4. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this will upload. Okay, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.